Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnicht Buick GMC Video Sports Update. You know, I was watching the semifinals at Wimbledon, and this year they were just phenomenal, and I couldn't help but think about how we've seen so many different golden ages of tennis. I mean, you go back to obviously Fred Perry and Don Budge and, you know, Kramer and Tony Trabert in the 50s, and then Rod Laver with the 2 Grand Slams in the 60s, and then Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe and Andre Agassi and Boris Becker and Stefan Edberg and Bjorn Borg, and it goes on and on. Pete Sampras, obviously. But now, the guys at the top of the game, we perhaps have never seen any sport be so dominated by such accomplished players and athletes like Federer and Djokovic, obviously, and Nadal, and now Juan Martín del Potro seems to be a guy who's advancing his game to where he can play at that. Andy Murray's won a Grand Slam event and into the finals at Wimbledon, trying to be the first Englishman in more than 70 years, Fred Perry, to win Wimbledon. So it's just fascinating because tennis has become such a different sport because of the equipment change and the emphasis on fitness and how to play the game at a very high level. And the difference is, and you saw that in the one semifinal with Andy Murray, is how you play on the big points. Plain and simple. Everybody can stand at the baseline and bang it hard and chase people around and hit topspin lobs and hit that down the line backhand. But boy, can you do that in the big points? And that's what separates the guys at the top of the game. Andy Murray now, obviously, and Djokovic and Nadal and Federer and Del Potro at times. You know, is this the golden age of tennis? I mean, the matches are so compelling because the athletic achievements are so high regardless of who wins or loses. It's just been fascinating to watch. When he missed the last few practices at minicamp, it didn't appear that Justin Blackmon had anything seriously the matter, and the Jaguars didn't intimate anything. But they did reveal on Friday that he has had groin surgery and he'll be out for a while. It's not that big of a deal for the Jaguars because, remember, he's already suspended for the first 4 games for a substance abuse violation. But he'll work his way back into shape. This is a guy who's off-field problems well documented, but he's really being counted on this year and in the future if he can keep himself on the field as a guy who's going to be a key cog in what they're trying to do offensively. I don't think there's any question about that. Great soccer match in Jacksonville last week between 2 Mexican teams, and what did that mean? Well, 6,000 people showed up. The commissioner of the North American Soccer League was there, and he was very impressed once again, and there's already a group together that's trying to bring professional soccer back to Jacksonville for the first time in nearly 30 years. They may be back as early as 2015. We'll see in the North American Soccer League. It's certainly one of the things that there's not a big crowd for, but certainly a passionate crowd, and it'll be very interesting. Hope everybody had a great 4th and a great 4th weekend, and as July marches on, we'll talk to you next week. I'm Sam Kavaris. That's the Nimnicht Buick GMC Video Sports Update.